Team, how are we? Welcome back, another YouTube, another Get Shit Done day. This time we are in Bristol. I was just saying to the boys that I have been to Bristol so many times to fly because my family home is in North Devon, but I've actually never ever spent any time in Bristol city centre, which is absolutely beautiful. So landed yesterday, got here about 12:30, full day of work. Me and Theo went for some incredible Thai food and then a crepe last night, early night, up this morning for a bit of arms and chest, fuck the rest, with a couple of the boys who've landed early. Now a bit of breakfast, plan what we're going to do today, and then 3 hours in the think tank, coming together, collaborating, sharing ideas, and making shit happen. And like I always say, whenever you run a business, it can be so lonely, it can be so isolating, and it can be so easy just to get caught up in your head, get caught up in normal patterns and normal routines. And whilst that's great sometimes from a rhythm perspective, being able to remove yourself just for 24 hours to shake up the snow globe, come and spend some time with the others, finding your people, and having that ability to recognize that everybody contains a piece of the puzzle is so cool, because it only ever takes one idea or one thought that you can walk away with that shifts your perspective, that really gives you that momentum. And right now we're in the month of July, which can be a bit of a weird time for a lot of coaches because a lot of people are away on summer holidays, they're out of routine. And this is now where the work that you do, the reps that you do, and the projects that you double down on, that's going to be the rewards that the coaches who are doing the work will see in September, October, November. So looking forward to it and looking forward to taking you with us. Most important part about any trip: brunch and dinner. Cozy club. Today, you should now basically have a story post that you can now have, which will become the foundation as soon as somebody comes on. And the great thing about this is it's no different from investing into a pension, stocks and shares, property, yourself. Like, these are the things that you start to do that might not give you an ROI like literally tomorrow. But if somebody reads that post in 3 months' time and then basically goes, that's me, I'm in. That's you. If that becomes the foundation of your hero story that you can talk about, when you go to an event and they're like, oh, so tell me a little bit more, and then you can succinctly go, bump, 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 bump. How powerful. This will become the foundation of all of your content. Also great because you can do it as a carousel, then you can do it as a reel. Then also you could do it as a YouTube. You could do it as a podcast. There's so many different ways that you can start to write this. The greatest superpower and the greatest asset you now have is you, and it's being able to own that and make sure, how does your story align to your business, who you work with, and how you work with it. So we're literally going to go 30 minutes. I want you to be able to break it down. I'm going to do it as well. My journey, my story to achieving. My journey, my story to feeling. My journey, my story to creating. Then obviously you would have an image. Page 2, that catalyst. Call to adventure. Page 3 is going to be what were the barriers, what were the feelings. Page 4 then becomes the guide. Page 6, this is going to basically be burn the boats. Page 7 is like the new opportunity. Page 8 will basically be the result. Page 9 will then obviously be like a direct CTA. And again, Don't worry about making this perfect straight away. This is probably going to take a couple of iterations to be able to get this absolutely nailed and to get this right. But just take the bullet points that you've put and now start to put pen to paper on this, and now turn this into a story. So I've been to about 10 of these Get Shit Done days now, and the reason why I keep coming back and breaking up the environment is purely because the people in the room. I think one of the things that you can do as a business owner is get caught up in your own head and in your own world, and that routine that you can create confined to your laptop, confined to your desk. But one thing Joe said to me is high performance is never built behind a desk. If you truly want to level up with things, the quickest way that you can do that is surround yourself with people on a similar path and share stories and get that lived experience, and that's done through conversations. That's not done through sitting at the desk. And every single time I come to these, I always walk away with something from someone else that I didn't really think I may do. But that's the beauty of these events, where people come together from all walks of life. You can learn something from everyone, and that's why I keep coming to these.
I always come to these days because I think it allows you to separate yourself from your office, from your laptop, and actually take yourself into an environment where there are other people with the same goals.
The connection and meeting like-minded people on a similar journey.
So the thing that I get from Get Shit Done days is the community, just being surrounded by obviously people who get it, and just being in a space where you can think outside the box, get new ideas, and see that there's a much bigger picture in terms of business and what you can do to make it the perfect business for you and your life.
When you come to these days, we spoke about it a little bit earlier, but I do feel like sometimes, because when we do this, we are always so busy, so self-contained, it can be a bit, not necessarily lonely, but kind of like you lack inspiration in relation to what the next step might be or what the next thing is to focus on.
Yeah, I think I can second that with, it's like the little gems or nuggets that get unlocked when you come to these things. So we were talking about it, I think last time we left with like 5 different ideas, probably only implemented like 2 of them, which those 2 things were like, that's actually what in a sense moved the needle forward for us for that next month, 2 months. And then the energy that comes with it out of the room as well. So being around obviously all the other coaches, not only do you get 1 or 2 things that move you forward, but then you've got this like inspiration of like, I'm fired up, I'm ready to go, and it's something you can't, like you said, you can't get that on your own. You can't replicate that.
It's about being the right route.
Yeah, so those 2 things together for me made me come back, and also Bristol's quite close to Cardiff.
40 minutes on the train isn't quite 5 hours.
But both of us come away from these things fired up every time.
If you've been in the room today, made me realise being around like-minded individuals on where I can actually take this away, the opportunity to build my business, and learning about myself in terms of what I do, and understanding, trying to get my audience to understand why I built my own system.
Piles is basically you either get internal piles or external piles. So external piles, which I think about it in my head, right? Is you know when you get like sugar snap peas, and it's just like a mate. It's basically like little peas hanging out your bum. Whenever it comes to any of these outros, my brain is absolutely melted. I can't even think. I'm a bit like, oh my god. I said on the flight coming over yesterday that if you want to build an online business, the best thing that you can do is build it offline through local collaborations, local community, partnerships, and being in that local proximity. The second step within that is being able to build a community where you can bring people together in a space, in an environment, in a place where they can have fun, connect, have conversations, break bread, and just have an experience more so than anything else. And these don't need to cost hundreds and thousands of pounds. They don't need to be fancy, and you also don't need hundreds of people to attend. We've ran so many of these events over the years, where some might just be a training session and a coffee. Others, we've hired a little mini conference room and we've brought together 3 to 5 of our coaches, all the way through to them running events at Old Trafford, Murrayfield, doing other kind of big events in Portugal, which is incredible. And community starts with one other person, and putting yourself in a place where you can just spend time with that individual, being able to break down the barriers that usually the internet creates, giving yourself time to be in a space, in a place where you can just have conversations and do human things. And right now with AI and tech and the skepticism in the industry, and I think how low trust is right now with a lot of people, being able to bring people together, put them in the room, being able to spend time with one another from a retention, from a fulfillment, from an enjoyment perspective is one of the greatest, if not the best things that you ever do. Making sales and growing a business is great, but building a community where you can find your people that you really enjoy spending time with is even cooler, even greater, and is, I really do believe, the heartbeat of any fantastic coaching business. And it requires you to expose yourself. And what I mean by that is like, put yourself out there. Hey, this is what we're doing. Hey, this is where we're going. Hey, I'm thinking about running this event. Hey, I'm going to get a few of the guys together. And it's being okay with being rejected and realizing that you have to set the standard initially. And there's always that little fear in the back of my head. I even said to Theo, I was like, I thought that this Bristol event was going to be super quiet, because when we planned our events at the start of the year and I looked at the calendar, I thought end of July, summer holidays, loads of people are going to be away. We've never ran an event in Bristol before, so it's likely it's probably not going to be that well attended. And today we had 30 of our guys come from all over just to come and spend a few hours. And it's so easy to look at what are the stories, the beliefs, what are the narratives that you'll often play over that will stop you from getting started. But just through taking the action, through putting it in the calendar, saying, hey, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, this is what we're going to get up to, you give yourself the opportunity to create memories and do things that are super cool. It's beneficial because you get a great experience. They come in, they get to spend more time with you. You further develop that level of connection and relationship. The likelihood is they're going to share on social media, they're going to tell other people, you're going to share on social media, tell other people, which is then going to create even more exposure to you and what it is that you do. And people want to tell other people about good things that they're doing. And so if you're not building community right now, you need to be. That needs to be the absolute priority. Who does somebody become when they step into your world? They want that connection, they want belonging, and people will come for a result, but they stay for something so much bigger and so much greater. And being able to have these little mini or massive events that you can put on are such a great way for you to spend time with people that you love working alongside, and also for them to have something that they look forward to and they feel like it's so much more than just a transformation or before and after, or some transactional process that's just a check-in. So I want the high performance coach to be an environment and a place where it really just sets the standard and gives other coaches the opportunity to realize what they can create, what they can facilitate, and how events don't need to be about value and information. They can just be an opportunity where it's just this open and fun and play, and we just see what happens. And that's where like the best ideas and the best experiences really come from. So event number 4, locked and loaded. I think the next event now is Portugal in October, 1st and 2nd. So that's already locked in the diary. Event is secured. I fly back home tomorrow to see little Lola and Leanne. Portuguese lesson tomorrow night, and I've not done my homework, so that'll be fun. But I hope you've enjoyed watching. I appreciate you for taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Stop watching television.
Mate, he's just won 10 grand.
10 grand?
He's just won 10 grand, mate. He's flying, the lad. He's absolutely flying. He's absolutely flying.